Hello and welcome back to another evening of Rust. We're going to continue the competition. Today I started this last weekend. As I said, I've not had a lot of chance to do much on this. I've been away for the week, but we're going to see where we are and where we can get to. And this is the Code Royale one. Unfortunately, a lot like the last competition. Hello, Witty Prakash. Welcome to the show again. And let's see where we are. I left it open. We made it to the Silver League. Hey, that's because there was only Bronze League last time, so let's split it up. So let's see where we are. And what do we have in our things? Puzzle of the week. We don't need that. We better the boss. What about Isaac? I think we're following Isaac. Name reference bell. I think we're following him. Yeah, good. Thanks, Wizard, for finally following us back. So let's go off to the competition and let's see where we are in the silver mode. We probably just snuck into silver with not doing very much. Nobody should wait to code. Give me just 1 second, okay? I'll just be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back now. I'm here. Okay, where are we? We're in the code. We're surprisingly not dead last, and I just probably where they split the code, and we're pretty far down here. So 395 out of 560. This gives us one hell of a reach for what we're going to have to do something, and so I don't really know where last time. There's not lots in there. All I care is about gold. If we can get gold, we'll be done. We may not get gold. When I see this number now here, this is going to be hard. We have a queen boss. Let's just set up the game. Let's see where we are. And last time I said there's some refactoring to do. And alright, we got to kill my proxies. And go like this. There we go. Use previously selected file, upload the same file. There we go, go back away. So let's take a look at our last battles. Let's see how we're losing. There was lots of stuff we do. We might just erase sort of the main strategy and start over from that. Let's just look at this one and see why we lost. So we're over here with red. And this is the exact error we had before. We're getting good, and then we just walk too far into enemy territory. So let's just cancel that nonsense. Let's just not walk within the range of an enemy tower. That should be a relatively simple fix, I think. I just have to remember what the code is like. I'll remember from my last week because I was eating lots of hot dogs up in Oslo. There's my, Let's go back to this now. I don't like the structure of the code so much, but it's really late. We're not going to fix this stuff now. It's very basic. We upgrade near, we flee, or we move. And let's check if flee always walks us back towards our weakest tower. I think we should probably be okay with that. If move, what does if move do? If move finds the closest site that's not ours, and it builds at that site. Or, and this is the one we're going to find closest non-site us. Find closest site non-us. Okay. We're going to modify this one a bit. And we're going to make this one say only if it's not within the range of an enemy tower. Because that's what's killing us here. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a second one here. And the fans in my computer are going crazy lately. I don't know what it is. I hope you guys don't hear the fan. I think I'm going to have to clean the thing out again. Hopefully it's not overwhelming the audio here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say find... let's just do it this way. Let's find total damage in range. We'll just leave it open. State and state. From where? 0.2, and that should be fine, and we're just going to make it an I-32 in the end. Can always have a value. let mut damage equals 0. For we don't need this, v in states dot sites dot iter. We're going to go through all the things we have in there. These are all the sites. Only going to check the enemy ones. That should be a not equals to, I guess. If it's not the enemy, then we're going to continue. And we want to check the... I've forgotten the structure of this. Okay, I think the site is a state. It's a... What is a structure type? Structure is a tower. Vita structure does not equal structure type dot tower, or tower. Continue, get out of here. Now we're just going to check the range. Let distance 2 equals from dot distance 2 v dot position. If distance 2 is less than, what do we say this is? We have a tower range, I guess. A site has a tower attack radius. If it's less than that, should be less than or equal to, but who cares? It's not going to make a difference. Tower... And they can control enter. No. What this brings up? That's a helpful pop-up. Well, that's really not helpful. Tower attack radius. Didn't pick that one up. That's right, because RLS never works for us anyways. Alright, if it's less than the attack radius, then what do we do? Then we do damage plus equals, not damaga. Damaga. Damage plus equals tower. Oh. How do we tell how much damage a tower does? How much damage does a tower do? Well, we gotta figure that one out. It must be one of the inputs. Is it maybe for the we get a different value for the opponent input? When tower, the remaining HP. Can we not tell how much damage a tower does? So we don't really know how much they do. It's at least 3. They attack creeps first, but we don't really have creeps. So we guess we just don't really know. We don't have the formula here other than it's closer to the tower. Oh, there it is. 1 base damage plus 1 for every 200 units of distance closer. Closer to what? The hell does that mean? There's no range there. If you're closer, if you're 200 closer, I mean closer than what? I guess the max range. Yeah, thanks. Let's look at the source code. I'm guessing it's probably like the range we are away, the max range. Divide that by 200. Difference from max. Alright, difference from max. So that's about it, yeah. How far it has to go, difference from max. Perfect. Tower damage queen. Or grinder, yeah, I mean, they just sort of missed what they were talking about. Hey, what's this game written in? Yeah. Okay, so we have that. Where was I? We have... I don't think I need the exact number, but we might as well get it. It's in Kotlin this time. Okay. All the semicolons are gone. That's so nice. Nobody likes semicolons. See, semicolons suck. Yeah, it's absolutely true, Organ Grinder. Where did I put that code? Damn it. 281. So, queen damage, only have queen damage difference from max, and tower queen damage distance is 200. Tower queen damage climb distance is 200. Alright. Let's see. Is this... This is an integer. Good. Alright. So what we have is we have damage plus, and I totally forgot the distance 2. Vita tower attack radius minus the distance 2 divided by 200.0, and this should be well, it's going to be 1 max, whatever this is, and this as an integer, I guess. I guess that floors it as I32. Good. And then we return the damage. No, it's a max. I believe it's a max for edA-qas, and I'll tell you why from the code. Is that their code here? They're doing a 2 int, and this rounds down. Oh wait, no, that's absolutely right. It rounds down, so it should be. Yeah, that is correct. It is a minimum of 1, but it's not really expressed as a minimum. It's plus 1 plus the floor distance thing, but divided by 200. Alright, so we're going to do this. If the distance to this is, and we're just going to skip ones. If find total damage in range state, comma. Now, we're just going to take this position here. It's not entirely correct because we may cross a tower along the way, but I think we're going to take our chances here. It's not absolutely correct, so... Like, I mean, just because the tower is within range of another tower doesn't mean our queen has to cross it. That's not the case I'm worried about. I'm more worried about the case that somehow we have to cross the range getting there even though the tower's not in range. But I think this should be better than what we have right now, at least. Oh, I've screwed that up. It's no max now. Just this. And what else do we have? Enemy, them. I usually ask them, I think. We don't know who's the enemy, it's just us and them. What was that skit with those guys? We have the skulls on our caps, are we perhaps the bad guys? I know the guy, who was, I forget who it was, sorry. Okay, we built that. Now I very intelligently, I'm in the Silver League, Organ Grinder. We're just trying to make it up to gold. Let's see what happens if I play the Queen Boss Lady. edA-qa, your lag kicks in. I'm in silver though, just in case it wasn't clear. I haven't played all week. Last week we left it, I was in a Bronze League, so we magically got up there. So let's see how the Queen... Let's just focus on the Queen. That Queen's like hyper aggressive. Okay, and I see why. We have that one tower thing there. She comes straight at me, huh? Twitch, yeah, Twitch has chat problems. There's an option to turn on a delay for moderation, but like realistically, how much more of a delay do we want? Okay, Okay, let's try this again. I want to see how this is. Like, the queen here is super aggressive. She goes right to the middle to build this crap. Does the queen do the same thing again? Better than CS... What's CSJ? Alright, so she builds the mines really fast. Seriously? Maybe he just feels it's cheating though he tried. Alright, so this is really complicated. Now, this is what I say about this game. It's very similar to the last games here, is that what I don't like about this type of game is that I don't have this impression that we're doing like something fundamentally wrong. And I have this impression that we have to tweak, and we're going to tweak very minor controls and try to find groupings and do stuff like this. Like, she creates a grouping here, let's do it again. And we're going to find something there to improve upon, but I'm not so excited about that. He also streamed it. Did he make it to gold? So they just sit right in the middle there. Maybe I should do that. Create my mines, create the mines. Why do his mines keep producing gold forever? It's something like this, like something this queen knows that we don't. What is the queen going up to? 4. We had that strategy once before. Just create up to 4, and then it creates a barracks. Well, I'm stuck at the bottom of silver right now, too. So it creates a barracks, go up to 4, create a barracks, and then just create a little loop of those things. Yeah, we need practice. That's my problem with the creeps in this game, too, is that it makes it kind of chaotic. When you have, like, essentially these random elements in the board that you have to use, but they're kind of chaotic, it's a little hard to control. It's a little hard to see what's happening, but we'll try it nonetheless. So Reknakas is saying that a barracks 4th closest to me, counting from the middle of the map, was enough for gold. And what'd you do? Just run out and create the barracks right away, or? And I'm guessing nobody creates trolls, nobody creates archers. They're kind of silly here. So we're safe creating a barracks in the middle. Nobody's going to go take it over. But it really doesn't hurt us anyways to build it, and alright, let's just start playing this and see what we can do. So I think the fine total damage and the range is fine. And is none. We do self-upgrade near. What does upgrade near do, first of all? It's only if we have something to upgrade. Upgrade near. Alright, so build at... So this is this code right here. We build a... What did I say build at? We only build barracks if the tower's out of that. That's fine. So, income is less than 2. The board is symmetrical, and so the income is less than 2. We could bump it up to 3, or we could take Renaxis and just take the first 2 as gold. Then we can vary between these two. Mine count equals count sites. Now, just because the strategy worked before doesn't mean it'll work now. this is what I mentioned in the last game after I did my post-mortem. There's a lot of metagaming here that if a simple strategy did work, it doesn't mean it'll work anymore. Plus, there's a lot of variables. I mean, this code, we have tons of code and small calculation here. Even if you think something is basically the same strategy, it could have totally different results. And I actually consider this kind of a negative of the game. If you basically have similar strategies, you know, it should feel like it results the same. So we're going to say if mine count is less than 2. Let's just build a mine count. There's still gold there. Otherwise, we build a tower. And we're just saying now to build a barracks. Barracks is a third one, is less than 1. But Raknakas built this somewhere in the middle. And then we go and build the towers. Let's see how well this fares against the queen. Oh, it actually won against the queen. Yeah, I'll try to relax your brain, Petrosil. I'm not clear how the queen lost here. She just lost her health really fast. Was that a fluke on our chance? Or, you don't like testing dumb stuff. Okay, there's... Yeah, that's really weird I beat the queen so fast here. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, fine. Well, let's submit this. But I say this change I made, the fact that it switched me from like totally losing to the queen to totally winning its game, it kind of annoys me, right? I didn't make a significant change. I really just, I made minor tweak. And the tweak wasn't that impressive. And we're already jumped up so high compared to where we started. But this is sad because there's absolutely no way I would have made it higher in the Bronze League. Maybe we were higher in the Bronze League before. Maybe we were just, maybe our code is okay. But there I dropped again. That's more what I expected. But definitely we're doing a lot better. And... yeah, okay, the silver boss is not very good. We just have to see how high we make it against the people then. Oh, we dropped some more. So that was too good to be true. So we can beat the boss, but now we have to beat the other people. How do we lose against Boris? You know, and I see why we lose against Boris. What the hell did I just do there? What the hell was that? No, go back to that game. Man, I wish you wouldn't do that. Now I gotta go hunt down Boris again. It's very hard to find who I'm losing against if I can't scroll down either. I want to find that one I lost to Boris because that was really crazy. Yeah, and Woody Prakash, we had that exact problem in the last competition where you have like this random grab bag of stuff and it's so hard to get by. And I'd really like to scroll down here, but it won't let me. I wanted to find that Boris match, so let's delete this and let's go against Boris. But I'm not going to get that exact thing. Boris. Oh, the leaderboard it's a bit better, but here it's terrible. I absolutely, if I can't find the guy I lost against. Well, we'll check it out. Let's see if Boris beats me every time. Boris is in 53rd. Oh, see, now I beat him. I think my bot just did something super stupid at one point. Fun, fun, fun. So, the word fun for... Yeah, I'm thinking about my own language to make functions be fun instead. Right now they're DEFN for deafen. Deafen is not as much fun as fun. Witty Prakash, we had somebody last show showing us that that was the case. That the game is not entirely symmetrical. That it's a disadvantage to play right. And it's not clear why. Is it just because of the ordering of your things? Does it just make that slight difference? Or is it really just because the floating point precision gets screwed up because that's the higher values over there? Alright, so we're at 275. It's not... Alright, so let's check Boris out this way. They really need a swap option there, Boris said. Let's make him left. And let's stick us right. Why are we dropping further? We were doing so good. We were at 150. No, see, look, we're still beat Boris. I think we just had a really unlucky match against Boris. CG Spunk. I'm avoiding Chrome. I use Chrome to upload stuff in YouTube, but I don't trust Google as a company. Oh, there we lost one. Let's see why I lost. You know, I'm not running away anymore. Fine. CG Spunk. It's Firefox as well, and I'll get it. Everybody has it. Everybody should have it. What does it do? Just install it. Fine. Alright, so what does CG Spunk do? Do I have to reload this? Probably. Let's just reload this and see what happens. Well, I don't need to play non-stop. Where are my options? Oh, there's the swap option, so at least it's there. Yeah, I can see the swap option, so that's good enough. CG's local is already used in another tab. No, it's not. It's really not in use. Yeah, I see that. I see that, guys. I got it. I got it. I'm trying to figure out where the... I think I had to close everything, because Coding Game also has that bug with the connection. It somehow keeps the connection open. I don't see a batch run here. I just see play my code. Maybe there's a batch run, but I don't think I really need a batch run. Alright, so we're sitting here. We don't have a very good improvement here. So let's go look at the history of the last battle. Let's see why we're losing. How do we lose against Manu? Look, I do this stupid shit again. No, stop. Click that Presley before I get over there. Man, they don't even have the pause button wasn't working anymore. And we had the problem before that when I was copying this stuff over, I didn't get the same game. But I have an obvious bug here. And I lost it as a bug. Now watch what I do. It's because I'm running way the hell over here. Man, that's bad. And that's exactly what I said before. Hey, Thanos. This is exactly what I mentioned before, is that my code check for whether I'm in enemy range checks where I'm going. And way over here, if you see right over here, I'm not in range of any of his towers. So my stupid bot thinks I'm okay because this is safe over here. He's just never going to make it across this field in time. And I didn't think this would be such a problem, but yes, if the board's completely filled up, although, yeah, and see, this one was out of range. Yeah, no, Euler, I'm not making a sim. I'm not. Though I could check. I could take. We could meet you in the middle there, Euler. What I could do is I could take my current position and. Oh, now line intersection. You guys just. You want to stress my brain too much at this point. I'm just going to do one thing. I'm just going to check my current position, and if moving towards the tower, straight towards the tower, also lands me in that area, then it's bad. Huh? Just checking what Rhinoceros. Distance your queen to the site is less than distance an enemy queen to the site. That should fix it. Well, it might not. Not if I ran this far, because at this point I'm closer than her. But that would be a quick test, but I think the line would also work. If I just draw a line towards it, kind of like the intersection, but I just have to do one step. If I ever step within those things, I got to say, like, no bailout. I'm in a bad place here. And we could probably avoid that if stepping towards it. How fast can I move? How fast do I move? Anybody know how fast I move? Yeah, right now that's absolutely correct, but there are some, I want to try and get it first. I think both ways will work. We can add both if we want that, because it looks like I'm just being unsafe. We'll try both ways and see which one saves us more. How fast does a queen move? Speed, speed, speed. Speed, is there speed here anywhere? Speed. Queen, 60. Does that mean 60 per turn, I guess? Well, let's assume it means 60 per turn. And we're going to throw this up at the top. Queen speed. I just make this F64 equals. Well, organ grinder, I can only calculate a line. A perpendicular would be. Oh, yeah, I understand. Line intersection. You know, this is one of the things that annoys me about libraries. Yeah, I had that in my head right now, organ grinder. If I draw the line to the tower and just take the perpendicular to all of them, I know if I have to cross that line. And it's usually such simple code, and I've written this code like 1,000 times in my life, and I hate writing it. I keep forgetting what it is. There's like a million corner cases, and it's like nearest. But we should write it. It's going to come up in a lot of games, and what we want is a distance to line function. Given a line, what is the distance to that line? And I can't imagine how many times I've written this, and I still don't know it at the top of my head. And if you search for this online, this is one of those formulas that everybody's written it, but about 99% of people who have written this function online have written it incorrectly. So most of the code for distance to line is wrong, which makes it really annoying if you need to look up stuff. So, total damage in range. And what do we want? State to V position. We don't want V position. We want online. Total damage online in online segments. Nice long names. We're getting this here, right? V position. So state dot. What do they call our queen? Our queen. So assuming they have to run through all of these things, what's the total damage on this line segment? A stone 43, yeah, that's actually a really good idea, and I actually wrote one. I've written one, it's in the Fuse code, and the Fuse code is now public, and I should probably test it and post it, and just say which conditions this covers for. The cases most people always forget about in their code tend to be coincident and parallel lines, and added copyright to it, yes. In fairness, it is unique code. I have actually been meaning to take a lot of the code I wrote from Fuse, the line stuff, and make it more public, because it's one of those things that comes up a lot. Is there's a lot of just wrong vector graphic code out there, and people always forget about the vector precision. They always have stuff like checking against 0 instead of an epsilon. They don't consider coincident lines. They don't consider parallel lines. There's so many conditions you have to check, and they're usually just wrong. So we have this fine total damage on line segments. Now, that all said, and given that we have time to spare in our calculations, I don't necessarily want to write this right now, because I don't want to deal with those conditions, and I don't want to go search for the code. It's on the other computer. But maybe I'll do this one offline. I'll put a big note in front of me. Line intersect / distance code. So what option do we have? We have time to spare, we have 2 points, and we can calculate the distance between them. We just iterate. That's fun, isn't it? For I in 0 ... It doesn't matter, whatever number. Let's do a constant somewhere. It doesn't matter. Let's say 10. We're going to do 10 steps. Let sample position equal, and I'm going to say 10 plus 1. And I know that's going to look utterly stupid. Or can I put a constant inline right here? Constant steps. I32 equals 10. Then I can say steps plus 1. Sample position equals I as F64 divided by steps as F64 times 2 minus from organ grinder. It wasn't, though. That's exactly what I was checking. That's exactly, I was checking if this was under any tower, and it's not. My stupid guy was heading for here, and you notice absolutely not covered by any of these towers. And I have the range less than 700 in there somewhere already, and I'm surprised I haven't checked it. Let's just do this one first, and let's see what happens with it. And we're going to do plus from. There we go. And sample position. If it's within range, then we just break out of this thing. Really rough approach, because I don't have the proper function to do what I want. And let's replay this one. That's that magic button there. And I really wonder why I didn't have that 700. There must be one of my functions doesn't have that 700 check. What the hell is my guy doing? I don't know what happened there. Why did I run over here? Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened? I ran. Why did I go to that tower? It's like I picked the first one in range. Like I did the exact opposite of what I wanted. It's like, oh hey, look, he built a tower. Let's go build beside it. I mean, what the hell? So, our queen v position, if it's greater than 0, continue. Yes, indeed. Queen doing the lap dancing. What do we have? So I think the damage is correct, but what on earth happened there? It's something I changed here, sample position. Well, this is the number between 0 and 1, is it not? Let's put extra parentheses around here, just so we're safe. Times 2 minus from. 2 minus from should be a partial distance, and this should give us partially that, plus from. Oh no, I'm checking random shit here. No, this has to be v dot position. Dot distance 2. So that's wackiness. So I'm measuring it to myself, so I don't know what it was checking there. It was finding the tower that wasn't close to myself somehow. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, we still lose, but let's make sure he doesn't do something stupid. See, he actually stayed out of the way. That was a good sign. He stayed out of the range of the towers. I don't know what, no! What's it doing? How could that possibly have failed? Why am I building a tower at 3? Where the hell is 3? Site 3. How can I be building a tower there? Stayed out of the range. Quiet, Recognize. He was doing well up until that point. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Find closest site, non-us. I think it's something else. I don't think it's the move, because like you even see this move here. This find closest here has that exact test for 700, which Organ Grinder mentioned. I just don't run 700 away from our starting position, but there's another place I must be building a tower. Where do I do a build at? Build at. Okay. Well, I'll be damned. There's only 2 places I build at. But I upgrade as well. But upgrade only applies... Well, Stone 43, what I'm supposed to do is just chill out in my area. So what I was supposed to do here is just chill out here upgrading shit. But apparently I'm not doing that. So that was the plan. So I broke something. Oh, I always do. I'm always doing something. I'm definitely doing something. I'm definitely outputting a command. And I think it has to do with this if upgrade. Where's if upgrade being called? Upgrade near. Well, no, it only updates ours, so it can't be if upgrade. So where else did I call build at? Build at, find our weakest tower. Only there, so why on earth did I call build at? Well, let's put a print line here to figure out which one it is. ePrint line. Build. Closest. Build weakest. I have to figure out what went wrong in that one. And because that was totally unexpected. Alright, just pause. Let's just move this thing over here to right up here. Alright, so far so good. And then I decide build weakest, build weakest, build weakest. That's fine. Where does that start going wrong? Right here. We'll build 8 tower. Well, I didn't get an output. Build. Where do I build? If flee. This is our weakest tower. That's fine. If upgrade. Build at. Well, that's it. So it must be an upgrade. So my upgrade is somehow wrong? ePrint line. Upgrade. Site.id. I think something like some sort of I don't know, maybe I corrupt something. Because I should have beaten him. I had a better setup. Just go over here. Build weakest. Now the game changed a bit. That's my tower, that's fine. Upgrade 8. Upgrade 5. Why am I upgrading 5? Upgrade 8, upgrade 5. Why was I going to upgrade 5? What am I doing wrong? If upgrade. Where is this being called? Upgrade near. Build at. Who's calling build at? So I call upgrade 8, build weakest, upgrade 5. So build weakest. Well, Repnakas, that's one part of the issue. That's number 8 here. But if you also notice, I end up going into this upgrade 5 here. And 5 is way over here. And that's not my tower. But that's a secondary problem, Repnakas. Definitely there's an issue there. And I want to figure this one out first because there's clearly a defect in my code. Not my strategy. This is a defect in my code somewhere. And I'm going to, after I do that, I'm going to modify it as if my queen's ever in a dangerous position, I'm just going to bail out. My if flee is going to check too, not just the building. The if flee is just going to bail out. But I have to figure out why the hell am I building at 5. It's build weakest, upgrade 5. Find our weakest tower. Well, that was certainly not our tower. Find our weakest tower. Oh, I just saw the error. Check this out right here. Anybody want to put up their hand? 4, What's the classic defect I just made right there? Anybody know the classic defect I made right there? It's a logic one. Before I fix it, you want to point it out? Yeah, I'm going to count for lag. You have a few seconds with lag to figure this one out. In this line right here, I made a really bad defect, and it's the reason why I'm running across the board like an idiot in this case. Maybe a reason. There's other reasons I run like an idiot in other cases, but this is probably a primary case. And so I'm going to fix it. Yeah, I'm found it. Fine. Count for lag. A few minutes glory in the lag, but this should be an OR, because I'm trying to do continue. It should have been a not and this was an OR instead. So that would fix this. Yeah, Raknagas, that's it. See, look, so he's looking intelligent. He's looking not like an idiot. Don't run across the board. And no, he's running. No! What have I done? Build weakest, upgrade 17. Why am I going to 17? Did I actually rebuild this or what? Find our weakest tower. Come on, man. Understand the code. Build weakest. Find our weakest tower. Find our weakest tower is not finding the weakest tower. Insights. And... no, I got this totally wrong. Yeah, I mean... if the tower is not us, or the structure is not equal a tower, then we continue. Oh wow, this statement was just screwed. I mean, I must have just rolled the dice on this one. Okay. So I had 2 errors in there. That's the stream lag. Stream lag didn't account for you missing the other one. Alright, so don't run into the foray like an idiot. Alright, so this is the issue here. This is the other one we talked about. I still walk within tower range. And that's because I'm fixing up my towers. But he's got towers there. So I have to do that as well. If I find myself, if at any point I would be within range, then I bail out. I don't do that. And that's the same thing. Find our weakest tower. Find total damage on line segment. We have to do that as well for... and this is the upgrade. This is the find weakest. Which one do we want to build? And what are we doing? We're doing a upgrade. Not an upgrade, but we want to do a... when did we first do that action? We did a build weakest. Oh, come on! Go to the right code. Find our weakest. Right, find our weakest is going to have to change. What we're going to do find our weakest is state, our queen position, and site dot position. If it's too damaging to do that, if we can't get to our weakest one, we're not going to fix it either. So, which means we have to build shit fast, because otherwise we're going to run out of board space. Because once we're done building, he set up his towers, we don't do anything anymore. We're just going to keep attending to our current flock. But his towers will also degrade, so we might be able to get there. Because he has to walk within range of my towers to fix these towers, so we might be okay. It's calculating longer, that may... look at that! We won this one. Very good, I like to see that. And so we're playing it safe. I don't know why we didn't build there. This is really weird. Oh, because it's probably out of range. I have that 700 range. That was probably slightly out of it. And so now we just hang back and wait for the carnage against the other person. We don't do a lot of damage, but I don't care. Let's submit this and see where we go. Where were we? Wait for our check. We were at 333, which was better than before, which was at the bottom of the pile. And we probably should... Oh, great. We're right at the bottom of the pile. That's delightful to see. That was a wonderful change. So, we've lost a lot. This strategy sucks. Why does this strategy suck? It was doing so well. Let's play against the queen. And we're going to keep ourselves in the bottom right corner because we know that's a disadvantage. So, do we beat the queen now or does the queen beat us? What is this? What's it doing? Alright, so CG Spunk did something weird. Is he going to keep playing them? That was pretty close, though, yeah? Why 2 barracks? Why 2 barracks? There was a reason for 2 barracks. Does anybody remember the reason for 2 barracks? Yeah, maybe I should just drop the barracks. What should I create instead? Nothing? Just create another sphere and protect myself? It looks like I need to be safer, so... Or we do more gold. But gold will come back anyways. Alright, so I'm not liking CG Spunk. Because CG Spunk is doing something weird. Well, the second barracks, it wouldn't make a huge difference where it was, right? Because we have 2 of them, but it'd be better to actually send out 2 at the same time. Because now we send them in waves, and waves are absolutely horrible in this game. And so this is the same one. We're not really... If I sent this out 2 at a time... Now we're getting deep into it, right? Because my things are just getting hammered by this. But if I sent out 8 at once, then some of them would probably get through. But since I send out 1 at a time... Gold Boss uses 2 if game is longer. Yeah, well, not here. This one, they don't... Well, it uses both of them, and... Well, let's just see what... Let's just play the simple game. Where's our barracks? Let's just create 1. See, we used to have it that we built barracks only after we finished mining the gold. Creeps lose HP every turn. Well, that's annoying. And yeah, that definitely means we should build the barracks further out. Let's just build it. So let's just do it this way for now. We'll just build 1 barracks. And screw the rest. Again, a useless barracks, of course. Now, the issue, if I wait to build the barracks near the center, I might not actually ever build one. Well, let's look at what Organ Grinder does. Well, Organ Grinder, I was beating the silver boss before. So like my code was beating the silver boss, but then we changed it to beat somebody else, and then to stop beating the silver boss, and so that's just it when you have the other strategies there. Yeah, and this is what I was just going to say now, is you walked straight out, and I'm just kind of walking to the closest now. And if I would walk out first and then retreat back that way, I'm just not sure how to encode that in my strategy. Because that definitely makes this one work better. But how can I quickly encode my strategy differently to figure that one out? How can I do that without having to rewrite too much? So we just walk left. Well, then I have to know what side of the board it is. No, I'm walking towards the furthest place away. Until I create my first barracks, I should probably create two. How can I encode this? If I have two barracks, the closest one that's furthest away from my tower, and then go back. Man, this is what I hate about these logics. It's hard to, like, you can start playing with it. It's hard to get the code right. I mean, I know exactly what I want to do. It's just very hard to logic code. So I want to keep building further and further away. So further positions are better until I get those barracks. Once I get the barracks, and how can I want to do it? I would walk along those lines. I want to find the line to the tower. Our rank is doing weird things up here. Because we need a barracks out in the middle. Because if everybody's correct that barracks in the back are bad, I'm wondering if I shouldn't be an idiot, just run out right to the middle at the start, create a barracks, and then use my other strategy. What I ideally want to do is I want to select a site, like right in the middle, and I want to say this is going to be my barracks. And then I'm going to run out there and create towers along the way, and then create my barracks there. I'm just trying to think of how I encode that. Or I just alternatively run straight out there and then build it. But I'd prefer to build along the way, because otherwise I'm in trouble. Dun, dun, dun. Thinking. We're getting higher here. Are we still going up? I mean, it's not high enough, obviously, but still going up, but not consistently. Yeah, Woody Prakash, that's my fears. It's really dangerous to run out there like an idiot. And My queen. Target plus distance target. I think that depends too much in their strategy, organ grinder. I mean, what I want to try first, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to keep that in mind. Come back to that. What I think the advantage here is we want to walk towards the line. So I think we're going to bias the distance, the 700 distance, towards the X thing. So I'm literally just going to bias it in the beginning until I have the barracks. Let's just consider values in the X direction only and Y is accelerated. That might be really weird. And this is going to be this one, find closest site. And the closest site, I want the barracks first. Where is the barracks? Come on. This is exactly what's happening like we had in our last game as well. The, whatever it was called, the botters. You start piling up too much stuff and you forget what happens here. If we don't have the barracks yet, well, we can leave this line in for safety reasons. And actually, we should do this line afterwards. Kick this out. Now we're going to do something really crazy here. Barracks count is less than 1. If barracks count is less than 1, else... Oh man, I hate this automatic indenting in Visual Code. It doesn't know what it's doing. Stop it! We're going to do a Manhattan distance. Queen.position.x minus v.position.x. This is the absolute of this, the absolute, plus state.our queen, y minus v.position.y, absolute. And not only that, I'm going to make the y coordinate really costly. And this should pile our stuff together more. That's a good theory, at least. With this one simple change, you can get higher in the search engines. If and else have incompatible types. Okay. That was not supposed to be there. If this worked, it means I run around the bottom, create towers there first, and once I have a barracks, then I branch out. Taking a long time. I lost anyways, though. Alright, I don't think my bias was strong enough. And my barracks certainly sucked. Did I actually compile this? It's just like it totally ignored me. Oh no, because I built the barracks right away, duh. So it stopped using that right away, barracks count. Alright, so we have to decide now. But no, it shouldn't have gotten there. It just went to there and there. It's questionable. Let's times this by 4. Let's just make it really, really pronounced. Of course, the guy walks around like an idiot too, and that's kind of an issue. Meanwhile, our rank keeps going up. While we think about how we beat the queen. Alright, and we built the barracks, I think, too early. Well, let's just hardcode that. Let's just change the order in which we build the barracks. Because we're walking away from it, so we're going to do a barracks again. Barracks, 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 barracks. Mine count is less than 2, that's fine. Let's just add another one. Let's just add an extra tower in here. If tower count is less than 1, so we're going to build at least one tower first. Because, hey, why not? And we could push it to 2 afterwards. $175. The submit takes so long to figure out where you actually are in the strategy. Well, we know we're not beating the queen. It doesn't mean we can't get by the level, but it's just usually safer to beat the queen. And there's something wrong with my logic about building closest, because no, let's do it differently. Let's just pretend the ordering doesn't make a difference here. How far are these away from there? We're only going to build it if the barracks are far enough towards the left. So there's going to always be 3 probably. Or actually towards the middle. Distance from here is the best. Let's just pretend we know what distance it is. And this is the site. Site distance equals... we have a start distance somewhere? Start. State.start position. State.start position. Distance to site.position. If barracks is less than 1, we can just put this right at the top then. Barracks is less than 1, and site distance is greater than 500. Build a barracks. Let's just hope for the best. Still not doing the right thing. No, part of the reason is he walks backwards, and I really have to bias towards walking towards the middle. Or walking away from our tower. Because building a barracks up here is kind of stupid. I should really take the opponent's starting position, and the closest one to their starting position is less than something, but that's going to be... because we don't want this circle, we want this circle, which is slightly different, but not that much. What if we take the center of the map? We might never build one, though, that's the problem. If we take the center of the map, we might never actually build anything. But he didn't... I want him to bias towards the middle thing anyways. it's a scoring of these sites. Where should we go to next? Logically, when I look at the map, it's very clear what I want to do. I want to go tuck, 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 tuck. But how do I encode that logic? Because he went tuck, tuck, tuck. Because this one is closer, which is stupid. Should go tuck, 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 tuck. And it's because Y, it's because he n-balanced the Y again. And something going away from us is better. The barracks, until we have that barracks, let's just not walk towards us. Okay, until we have that barracks, let's just do it this way. Now, how do I do that? How do I do that? Just don't allow us to go backwards until we have the barracks. That's really dangerous. That would be a possibility. But let's see if that works. Oops. Let distance equals state that our queen dot position dot distance to v position. Okay. If v dot distance to state dot start position, I think it was called start position, right? If the distance to the starting position is less than the queen's current position, less than state dot our queen dot position dot distance to state dot start position, then continue. How dangerous is this going to be? We're just going to keep running out until we get that one. Don't go backwards. Just don't go backwards until we have that barracks. Oh, we're up to 167. That's nice. Uh-oh, this one's... Is it going to finish too fast? Better be I win, not lose. Still lose. Right, and we don't... We just don't get a chance to build those barracks if we do that. So I can't code the logic I want in there. I just don't get the logic I want in there, and I just never... This is like a stalemate here. But I got that barracks, and the barracks is too far away to the top. I'm just not liking this. Barracks. Build at. Let's just do this way. Yeah, the Ricknackers. That's what I said. That I don't, which is very dangerous. Is I was just going to pick a spot on the board, just go build the damn barracks, and then let my algorithm do the rest. It's a definite possibility, and the problem is if we don't have any towers. Shit, why don't we just do that? Why don't we try it and see if it works? Let's try it. Let's go back and screw this barracks. We'll leave the mine count in the towers. That's fine. if turn.isNone, turn equals self.build barracks. And then we could try to figure out if this encoding works, what I want to do. And the function build barracks is going to be, where's the barracks count? Public function build barracks. And what is that going to be? We need to take the state. We need the mutable self and mut self, state and state. And what does this return? An optional something, an optional string, yeah. We didn't bother encoding the turns. Optional capital string. I really work with too many languages, I get confused. If barracks count is greater than 1, greater than equal to, greater than 0, then we just return none. Else, what do we do? How do we pick this criteria? We want the 1, and to force it, I should pick the 1 from the x. Closest to x, that's furthest away without crossing the halfway mark, because halfway would be bad, I think. Oh, maybe that's a good point. What is the width of this damn thing? Let's get the queen's starting position. How do we get the starting position? Start position. Complete init. This is our start position. How do we get their start position? Our queen. Else self.their queen equals units. Our queen. Pub their queen. Units. Pub their start position. 0.2. Their queen. It's a fake queen as well. Their start position. 0.2 default. Self.their start position. Their queen position. So we have their starting position. Now we're going to find the middle here. Let middle equal state dot our queen position with state dot no. Start position plus state dot their start position divided by 2. Okay, now we find the tower. Find tower. I thought I had this. Find closest site to us from here. Good. Find the closest site. This is potentially a little bit dangerous. I actually want to find it slightly biased towards our tower. And that would have to be this thing here. If we do this instead, we take their position. We have the point class, it must have helper functions for this. Factor 2. Yes, see, factor 2 is the one I want. State.start position dot factor 2 their position 0.9, and that biases it slightly towards us. You really don't even need 0.9. 0.95 would work as well, but let's take 0.9. We know the board is slightly off-centered, so we're going to find the one. Find closest gives an option site, and we better hope it finds one, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. We'll just fall back to that one. If let some site equals find closest site, not us, state middle. Ref distance, I don't care, within 300. find something. Else we return none. What do we return here? We're going to just go build it. Return. Build. What is build? Build. Barracks. Knights. Oh, come on. I screwed up again. Barracks. Knights. Site. Dot position. Alright. That's crazy. No, not site. Site.id. That's what I wanted. Yes, return some. Alright, so let's see what this crazy guy does. Meanwhile, we're stuck at 172 in the rank. So I think that's a solid stuck at 172. Just as I say that, it goes to 173. Alright, why did I go so far? Where was I trying to build? Build 0 tower. 0. Well, that was too far away. Factor 2. State that their position. State. Oh, not 0.9, 0.45. I meant to be from the halfway mark. Duh. Well, then we should build a tower next. Let's change that logic. Screw the mines until we have some towers. Tower count. It's less than 2. Just say 2 for now. We're going to build a tower. Then we'll build mines. Alright, so I'm doing something weird now. Why is he running way the hell up there? He should have just kept building towers down here. So we build the barracks, that's fine. Then we upgrade. But then why does it walk up there? Build closest. That's certainly not right. Maybe it's because my other logic is in the way now. Build closest. Oh no, you know what I thought here? This nonsense. I never walk back towards us. Back towards our starting position. Alright, where are we going to get to with this? Don't be afraid to cheer for me on Twitch, you know. Every bit helps. Hey, look at 1! See, that's a good opportunity to go and type cheer and give me a bit. So, that's scary that may have actually done something. Hey, we actually managed to build another tower. That's scary. We actually gained some space there. Alright. So we're at 172. Let's submit this and see what happens. And I should seriously be, git commit, just step, whatever. I should have committed the last one so I know where we were. Last battles. Well, those first games are looking good. That looked like a really nice set of matches right there. Right up to 54. We might have gotten super lucky though. We may drop back down to 150, but this is like an amazing set of matches. There we go. We dropped down a little bit. Well, we might get lucky some more. And we drop down. So we had this really nice initial setup there. We're going to have to look for a way to tweak that then as well. But we're going back up, so you never know. And the way to tweak that would be is at some point build a second barracks, as the strategy would do. Organ Grinder's confident we're going to get gold with this. Of course, he may have said that with Twitch lag before he watched us drop back down. So, you never know. Twitch lag makes everything very interesting. And it's only if Organ Grinder says it again will I believe him that we might get gold. But see, we have a good range here of battles being won. And we have a really good option if we look at the games here, what happens then. This guy got really aggressive super fast, and that's really interesting. Wow, he's just hammering us there. Who is this? Come on, give me the name. Oh, come on, their system, edA-qa. We're going to go check out edA-qa. He has a super aggressive strategy. We'll look at the people we lose, but we're still going up pretty fast as an average. Definitely our best strategy so far, you might. Now, Organ Grinder's changed his mind, see? You know, confidence. You know, when you see us go up and down, confidence tends to waver, you know? I need assurance from you guys. I don't need this wavering confidence. I've got the wavering confidence. I need you to reassure me. Alright, 50%. We gotta wait to 50%. We're at 18%. Alright, look at this one. We're gonna lose. This is against Vishtor. And how do we lose? It's because he got really aggressive. And he actually destroyed one of my sites. And I've seen this strategy before. Walk across the top and then you kill the sites. And I've thought about that before. And that one was super close. Who was that? We don't know who that was. It went by again. Who's this guy? Terra Arachnid? I'm just looking for some of the ones we lose against, so I have people to fight against. How do we lose against this one? And look, we were so close here again. We're like super close on these things. Up to 31, that looks good. That's the highest we've ever been. And if we can make it to the top 10, I'd be happy with that. 16. Wow, look at that. Oh, 30. Come on. Now, say, to recap what I did here. it's partly what I did is because I couldn't figure out what my strategy was doing wrong. But it's like if it had the right setup, it started doing the right thing. So what I forced it to do is run out right to the middle and create a barracks, because that was our weak point. So I just do that right away. And then I reverted to the normal strategy we have, and that gives a good setup for the strategy because we're in a decent position. If I have the initial setup okay, then the other stuff works okay as well. And a lot of these, it looks like I might be able to win if I just set a different barracks. But at the rate I'm going up, Organ Grinder might be correct. As he says you might. I'm allowed to say might. You guys can't say might, okay? No more might from you. And the balance of these matches seems to be pushing us up, which is a very good sign. And once we have these towers, we're fairly safe until the mine runs out. But then we just build more mines. And you see we screw ourselves here by building all these mines. It puts us in a very dangerous position. But then we get more gold and stuff as well. But overall we're doing it well. We're stuck at 13 though. Are we going up or is it just not updating? I really gotta get a second camera set up so I can switch and show you what I'm pointing to. Because all you see is a pen waving around the screen like an idiot. And you have no idea what I'm pointing to. Or I need some virtual pointing thing that actually does that. And we're like really stuck here. Come on, no, we can't be stuck here. Still hit or miss. Check the leaderboard to see why we're stuck there. 24. What's the top? 27. Yeah, Organ Grinder, I think that's often the case. And we're kind of shuffling back and forth here, but the predominant trend is up. Which means, although I may not met in my submit time, there's a good chance that I just sit back and leave it, we'd get further. And yeah, so we might be okay here, because we're sitting at the top here quite well. In the last time we did Borders of the Galaxy, we had that issue is that what I do is I was in the Gold League. And I had this. I keep getting up here, right in the top 5 here continuously. And I kept tweaking the strategy. We just couldn't get by. The boss was too hard. And eventually just sat back and watched it. And we slipped by. And what was interesting about that is we had tweaked it so much is that we skyrocketed like way up to halfway through the Legendary League as well. And because we basically over-tweaked it. And it did really well. And so this time we'll probably leave it. This time we're not going to go for Legendary. Oh, last time we didn't get very far in Legendary at the end. We dropped back down, but I was surprised to see where I went to. This one I really just want to get gold. And if the predominant trend is up, we're okay. Okay, so Woody Prakash, I'm going to explain again what I did. And because I find it really cheap. Our strategy had some weaknesses. You saw them. I ran like an idiot, but I fixed that one. The next weakness was that I was building the barracks too close to home and not close enough to him. And the issue there is that our creeps, these guys, they lose health as they move. So putting a barracks at the back is bad. Putting a barracks in the middle is really good. But I couldn't figure out the logic for how to build along the way and build a barracks in the middle. So what I did is I said, well, screw it. Let's just go build the barracks right where we want it and then fall back to the other strategy. And that seems to be a really approachable way. Organ Grinder, yeah, it looks like we're doing really well, though. So Witty Prakash, I hope that explains what I did. I basically just said, the first thing I do is run and go build a barracks. And then just go back to the strategy we had before, which sets it up, builds things, and keeps pumping things out. And you can watch this one. Watch what we do in this one, Prakash. Here we go. See, I run out, I build the barracks, and then I just do my normal strategy. Build 2 towers first for defense. And if I'm in danger, I go on my tower things, and then I just keep upgrading. And I keep going back. If occasionally I go for defense. If I'm ever in trouble, I go for defense. I lose a little bit of the time because I'm being a little bit underly cautious there. But you can see I build mines chance I get, and I build towers, and I keep going back. And the leaderboard, we got a lot of battles still. The overall trend was still up. Yeah, organ grinder, that's a good point. And what it would also do is it puts pressure on them right away, because it would take care of those ones. It would take care of idiots like me that don't build a tower right away. Right? If you build a tower, if you don't build a tower right away, early creeps can hurt you. and it really doesn't cost much at all. That costs you that one turn to build that first barracks, because you're always sitting beside the tower. And then I can just go build the second barracks and go to my normal strategy and eventually replace that first barracks with something else and ignore it. But that actually takes a bit of code to do. And witty practice, the stuff about running away from creeps and stuff, yeah, I don't know. It's you do waste a lot of time. It gets difficult to code. And I am super afraid of creeps, and the reason is because there's no way to recover health in this game. The moment your health goes down, you never get it back, and I tend to die. It's not... Most of the games I'm losing is because it looks like I'm dying, not because I'm not killing them. And that's a big difference. It's not playing out the game, I'm dying. And so we have this here, 81%. Who knows if we make this? We could wait, and this was the error I made last competition by waiting, not by waiting just for it to get up there, but by waiting for like another day, because then the metagame changes here. Somebody starts copying strategies, and hard to tell if my trend is still up at this point or it's just randomly switching. Well, I'm going to commit this just in case. Git commit top 10. Nothing to commit, so that was a step 1. And see, I dropped out of the top 10 now. So we can play with this. We can play with what's happening here. Now, organ grinder's approach is maybe it makes a difference. And I think we're flopping here. We're not getting our scores, not getting high enough. We need like another 2 points out of this. Now, the reason why not submitting again, why this sometimes helps, and I think it's kind of an issue in the game, is because when you first submit, you get a scattering of people through the ranks, which means when people submit their code in Silver League, they're going to randomly play against me. And if I'm in the top 10, there's a good chance I'll win against them. But if I don't submit, then I don't play against other people in the top 10, meaning I don't play against the hard people. So there's this tend to drift. Logically, there would be a drift of the top 10 into the next league if they just stopped submitting. And unless they've changed it or I've misunderstood how that works. So while we're competing against while we're trying to fight against one guy, we can simply watch to see how our strategy's doing. And look at our battles. Let's look at which ones we're losing against. It won't make a difference. And we really only played 40 battles, which is really not a lot of things. Yeah, organ grinder, a second submit might actually help us as well. We can just get lucky there too. Let's see why we lose this one. Let's see if there's a tweak we might be able to do that helps us out a little bit. This is edA-qa. And we get stuck. We just got stuck against there. Why? No, I don't know why I pressed resubmit. How can I fix that getting stuck? I can increase the tower count. I can increase our defense count. Before we start building mines, I can make sure we have 3 towers, because I build a mine first, and this guy, I get hammered for that. And here I just get stuck. There's no way to move. And let's see that quick thing. If I'm building towers, tower count. If upgrade, tower count. We could just switch this up to 3 and see if that helps against this guy. Well, we lasted longer, which is a good sign. But he's still just hammering us, right? This is getting hard. Wow, this one's super aggressive. Wow. Let's just ignore edA-qa. Let's play one of the other guys in the front. Let's play edA-qa. Oh, this stupid CG match game log thingy. I'm gonna uninstall CG Spunk because it's causing weirdness. So we built edA-qa once. Can we fight him again? And go away. Alright, so what do we do with this? Do I submit with my change or without my change? Because we're done submitting. Computing. There's like several people computing. They're too far away from us to push our score up, though. My trend is up, so maybe we'll just try submitting it and see what happens. So we were clearly at 10. 10. A lot better than the 172 we had before. And I'm going to resubmit with the higher tower count. Whether it makes a difference or not, we don't really know, right? The sampling is not large enough to really get a clear idea whether you did something right or not. We lost one, that's fine. So the tower count to 3, we lost a few more, but that may have just been unlucky. We don't know for sure. We have to see where it ends up. Because last time we got a really good run, and that's and so see, this guy, he built trolls, and it's just a waste of time, I think. Although he did beat me. So somebody actually has a troll strategy that could actually hurt us. Interesting. Let's see where we get to. Oh, I lost whatever I was playing with. It's on the ground somewhere. I can pick that up before I forget where it is. Stuck to my sock. We're not jumping as fast. That may or may not be a good thing. Again, there's random matches. The last one felt far more satisfying to jump up super fast. This one's more of a stable progression though, but again, we've only played 20 battles. We really don't play a lot of battles in the game, and so there's still a lot of randomness involved here. Who you play against, how often. Overall, it looks like tower count to 3 is not so good. It's tower count to 2. There's old Gertor. He was our nemesis in the Waters competition. I don't know, I got stuck behind him in gold for the longest time. Yeah, this actually, the tower count looks definitively worse, to be honest. Although we're at 15%. Well, maybe it doesn't make any difference. Right, if this trend would continue like this, we'd be absolutely fine. That would be a gold, no problem. But that trend should get us in the top bit here. But we're already suffering here, so hard to say. We have to get to 50%. Where were we at 50% last time? Were we already in the top 10, or we were only like top 50? Yeah, that's not looking good. Who did I lose against? Last battles. Show this one. This guy do something clever, or... Yeah, he managed to take over my tower. And he's just hammering me with people. So there is this one strategy I can't compete against, and that's the hammering one. And his are relatively weak, but there's not much we can do about that. So Tower 3 looks to be definitively worse. We haven't submitted a lot, but I can't wait forever on these things. So again, what change I made here was I built 3 towers instead of 2 first of all. And then I go build mines. And building 3 in a group also groups them together. It should be more defensive. And this mine count less than 2, perhaps I should go back to income less than 2. Not looking good. Going up. It's so hard to tell. It's like it takes so long. But if you had if you really had like the top strategy, you wouldn't lose anything. You jump up like really, really, really fast. So in a way, I mean, we could improve the strategy, but there's so much involved. It's not like I can suddenly make a tweak and have this awesome strategy. When you practice, that's what I did. That's why I committed it. Right? So you can actually see I have a difference with it now. That step was a 10-1, and the changes we made are just this. And so I do actually know what code it is. That doesn't mean tomorrow, though, that code may be worthless, right? And we're not doing so well here, so I'm going to undo that, because that's clearly not actually helping us. So this tower should be less than 2. Let's replace it with income less than 2 instead of mine count. And hope we get lucky. And play against Nesnes. So Nesnes we were able to beat, even though he's better than us. So Nesnes is win this time, and that plugin's kind of pissed me off now, but Yeah. Well, I changed it slightly. I'm going to resubmit it with the slight gold change and see where it gets to us. And if that doesn't do it, I'll go back to the actual original code that we got number 10 with and see how it performs. So the tower definitely makes it. We lost several here. And that first time, we really had a really good jump the first time. But we're already jumping up higher. Not that much of a jump. I think we might have gotten really lucky that time to get to the 10. We can still go back to that code, though, and see what happens. I mean, that's not a problem. Let's let this one play out a bit more. I'm not convinced it'd make that much difference. Does it really make that much difference, the gold ordering I'm doing? These are kind of the parts of these competitions which are really kind of rough to watch with, because there's really not much I can do. And if you have a tweak that might get close to the top, you kind of have to test every small tweak to see where it gets you, because you don't know what undoes what you did. And I can start tweaking against every individual person, but like I don't really believe the change I made can make this much of a difference now. Like, we are going up, but I mean, so the change I made is I changed this from mine count less than 2 to income less than 2. This means one mine could actually satisfy us now that we built towers, but it might actually reduce our gold count and increase our defense, but it increases our defense faster. So Organ Grinder is confirming that gold income heuristics change results a lot. Which in theory means I could up that number, or just go back to saying, hey look, there's 2 of them, let's just get 2 mines. Because our mine strategy already accounts for the fact if a mine goes empty, but every time you increase the power of the mine, it's hard to say. Oh, and yeah, this one actually, because I upgrade the mines and I'm close to the middle, I get more gold. This may make a massive difference in the amount of gold I get. Because I might have been 4 up to like 4 or 5 even, and this maybe dropped me down to 2. Well, it'll still be 4 or 5, but I mean, because I upgrade them as well. So like, it's really not doing well. We should be a lot higher already, but let's let it go to 50% at least. But it looks like I can probably undo this and go back to mine count as less than 2. Make sure we always have 2 mines. I don't think this is enough of a push to get us up there, though. Now, Organ Grinder comes out with the 3 mines. Well, our strategy can be tweaked because I actually build mines on top of places afterwards, and I build towers on them. So we can tweak this, so we can basically say if the mine count's less than 2 and there's no gold, or if we already have 5 towers, we can build another mine. And I had a lot of logic like that before, and we can go back and tweak that. But I want to see what happened here. What the hell? Alright, I don't think we're going to get that high, so let's just go back and do it exactly this way and submit this again. Whoops. And see if we really got lucky that time. I don't think so, that lucky. And submit it. Yeah, I just submit it. Ignore the practice. And see, now we got really unlucky on this start. So we got a really massive lucky start that one time. And what that points towards, though, is, again, and this is what I mentioned in the last Botters one, is that your bottom half of the chart leaderboard can be very random stuff, which is really hard to get by. And if you get a lucky set of hits, and you get out of there, and you have one that performs well on the top end of the chart, well, you should do better. But you can actually get stuck at areas, and then you're going to have to actually fight people to get by those areas. So we were at 10, and he's not increasing that fast. Not terrible either. If this one doesn't improve, we're going to have to really look at what we can do to actually improve it, because we had a very good bonus there, and alright. It's getting tired too, but I really don't want to leave this. If I'm getting close to gold, I really don't want to leave it, because that was the exact problem I made in Botters of the Galaxy, is that the metagame will change by tomorrow. Meaning you have different strategies to fight, which makes it a real pain in the ass. So it's going, unless overnight enough people submit stuff to push me into gold. That would have been the other option instead of resubmitting. But if this is actually, as we think, these makes a difference, if this gets me back to 10, this means that gold does really make a massive difference, that gold difference. And the choice of 2 towers over 3, which we didn't have any real logic for, we just sort of randomly chose the 2 instead of 3. He's tweak it on and off. Let's see why we lose against this guy. Just for the hell of it. So he's one of those aggressive guys. It's not clear why we lose against him. I think it's just because we don't... Wow, that was like a really... low HP test. Yeah, we could do that, but... This is one of the ones where... if all our losses were like this one, we'd probably be okay. It was a really, really close one, and it just ran out. We just ran out the clock. And this one would probably be served by like, hey, if we have enough towers, let's just build a gold mine instead. So the problem is creeps destroy gold mines. Alright, so it's 17 to 22. That was like super close. And around me, I'm still going up, but see, now I'm not sure about the last one, which one was better. This makes it hard to play, is that when we got to 10, it means we have a strategy that can compete well at the top, but we have something in the middle which has an issue with this. We have an issue in the middle. Alright, and let's take the one Witty Prakish sent us. Who am I playing against, though? Why does this not work? Copy. Manual, there it is. Who am I playing against? I'll play against this guy again. Znut, 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 znut. And I win with the low HP one. That was fast. Do I win a second time? Oh, it's not going to make a difference. It's the same seed. Duh. This pop-up's got to go. Alright, I'm going to disable that for now while we're waiting for a second. Go to the add-ons here. CG Spunks, we're just going to disable this for now because it's causing trouble. Who else are we fighting and losing against? Everybody, it seems. Who's this? Check this guy first, and yeah, okay. This is a clear case here, is that I shouldn't build gold mines out in the front here. That's kind of a waste. I mean, the gold mines should come in the back, because the problem is gold mines get destroyed when they're touched by the enemy creep. And that's an auto tweaking we can do. So let's remove this. And Witty, what's your name here? Is it the same? No, what's your game name? Are you in silver? I'll check something first. X 166. Prakash, okay. That's probably enough. We can do Prakash then. Prakash. There we go. Let's play Prakash. Randomly. So we beat you. At least, just the one time at least. Let's try it again. So this ranking thing, this gives you one of the things about the contest, and I think this is really unfortunate for such a game, and it gives a very good indication of the amount of randomness involved, is that this is the exact same strategy what we were number 10 with. We're stuck at 258 right now. This was our number 10 strategy, and it has a lot to do with the matchups. So somewhere in the middle here of this ladder, there's strategies that we don't do well against. But when we have that initial burst of 10 wins to get us over that, we're in a different set of strategies. And dealing with this is extremely hard. And it's hard for everybody, not just for us. It's hard for absolutely everybody to deal with this, because you have the high strategies that make it all the way. And having a superior one to all of them is very difficult. Do I beat you again? Let's play you again, Prakash. I think I'm beating you again. But your rank is actually higher than us. So you beat us this time. And Wait, Prakash, yeah, it's an issue that the gold bots are probably better, but we definitely had issues. We definitely had issues last time in botters where bots from higher leagues would probably no longer get by the earlier leagues. Now that was between legendary and gold. Gold had a problem that the boss was pushed up so high. And like I say, I jumped really high in legendary. But I don't know how else you could fix it other than just running more and more games, right? It's a very difficult thing for the system. They have a limited system power. There's only so many games you can actually run against people. $239. Like if I just resubmit, which I'm going to do because I'm so low, I might get a better shake at this. Might get lucky. That first run of 10 had helped us so much that time. And these mixed results are not helping us. That means we're actually going to have to find a better strategy rather than just getting lucky. That sounds like work. Well, I can change the mind building thing. Let's run this one run. Do we have any differences right now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's the one we did. Now, we could do this. We can say... and site.position.x minus date.startPosition. What this would do is it would prevent us from building mines too close to the enemy. Let's say 300. That's a very conservative one based on what we have now. Jasper, I'm still in the Silver League. I was at number 10 here with this strategy, but we can't get back up there. This one might get up higher. I don't know. I'm stuck. All I want to do is get the Gold League, and we were so close, and I'm not clear what to do. That was such a good thing. It's frustrated now. Well, this one's jumping up higher, and again, I didn't change anything. This was the one we were stuck at 250 before, the one we were at 10 with before, and I don't know what else to do. And the randomness, like I say, the randomness makes it extremely hard to test. I mean, what we did in botters, I just kept tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and you never have a good thing. You just take every single battle you lost and keep tweaking until you win it. Submit it, take the next one, do the same thing, and hope for the best. But there's conflicting strategies, so let's just take one we lost. Let's see why we lost this one. He's got an aggressive strategy again. And that one's kind of the weird one. I mean, and we're getting this quite often now, that we may not be playing it safe enough. We may not be running away from creeps fast enough. Yeah, I know I'm not dodging knights, and... Well, I do. And I actually do run away when knights get close, so what's the issue here? I have logic for that. Oh, you know what it is? The logic is hard-coded. If the tower count is less than 3, I don't run away. But this is supposed to be balanced with building towers. Since I only build 2 now, I actually have to change this at the same time. Otherwise, I'll do weird things. Yeah. But if you run away too long, then... Yeah, I don't care. It's hard to say. Right? Well, see, there's the issue there, is that I should actually be... I'm not actually running away when I run away. Wow, that was a tie. So I did slightly better. Right, like, I don't actually have running away logic. The logic should be, if the knights are coming, I run as far away as possible. But it has to be within my towers, and... Oh man, I don't know. Well, let's see how often I lose to Hacker Monkey. Oh, I got something in my eye. Oh, I didn't actually notice that. Oh man, what's in my eye? Can't see. Beat him this time. So Akis, that is the danger we have, is that when I first build this first barracks, I ignore everything and just go run and build the barracks. And that's definitely part of the issue here, is that... Yeah, I think I understood what it is, and that's the danger of what I have with this running out and building the barracks, is that if he builds a tower right there, I get kind of screwed. Alright. But we're still going up now. Now we don't. Let's see what we did this time. What am I doing? I'm in the range of the tower again. I thought I had code not to do that. See, this one should not have happened. We should not have been sitting in range of this tower, because we have code that says get out of the range of the tower. Except probably not if we're upgrading. If upgrade. But he was always within range of the tower. Was he? You know what? Shit, look at that. That's just like a lucky thing. I don't think I was within range when I started this. And so I started building this, and I never realized I was in range after it, because I don't have that logic there to test that I suddenly become in range. And we should really just check that. Find total damage on line segment. Let's just do it right there. If upgrade. Who's calling if upgrade? States. Yeah, let's do the easy out here too. If find total damage state from, let's just take just that position, site dot position, site dot position. We don't need a line. Greater than 0, then return none. I want to see if we at least avoid that damage. But again, because it's hard to tell, that avoids the damage at least this time. Because we were close to doing that. And so now we're going to start building that tower probably the exact same way. Now we can run down. And see, it completely changes it. So you don't know if you actually fix that situation because it completely changes the outcome. But we still won there nonetheless. What else did I just change? Is that enough? Let's submit it. Why not? Let's just submit this thing. Back to the bottom, and let's see what happens. Wow, their system seems to be overloaded. It's taking a lot longer to submit these things and get results. This makes it even worse. I was better off in the morning, and now we have a whole bunch of losses. Wow, that's pretty mixed. How do we lose against Cheetah? Alright, I'm probably going to have to stop here right away. Just getting too tired. So we build our base, we build the tower, and we just get hammered because I don't actually try to run away. I try to run to my safe spot here, and that's the problem. The safe spot isn't necessarily safe, but what else can I do? I can run away and make a tower. Or I can change the upgrade things on the towers. That's another option here, right? I can do the tower count, and tower count's less than 300. What I should do is I should run the furthest distance away. Yeah, but part of my strategy is to start in the center. I want to start in the center so that I can actually build that tower. And then I have to run away. And I have to build these things along the way because you can't build a mine there. And yeah, I know what I have to. I just, again, it's more of that logic to encode. I don't. Well, that's not going to help here. That didn't help any. Rick, yeah, I know. Build at, and well, when you practice, I'm running to the defense of my towers, so I'm taking the two towers, finding the safe part in the tower, and staying there. Because if I run to the right, I might not have no tower defense, and so I don't have that. My strategy is to run within the towers and hope that they kill him. before they get to me. So let's put this to 200 now, because I think that's actually, I built the mine too fast. Yeah, it's a definite weakness I have, is that when the creeps are coming, I sit here in defense of the towers, not realizing that building another tower would be my best defense. And so I should actually check, what's the if flee? If flee. Well, again, witty practice, the reason why I stay in the place is because I'm sitting in the defense of my towers. I'm hoping they kill them, but because if I run right away, just completely away, they're not going to get killed by the towers. But again, I have that problem that I should be building more and find our weakest tower. And this is the issue here, find our weakest towers. I should actually find another one. Yeah, but Prakash, I'm already in the middle of the board. If I wait to get to the side to build the towers, they're going to destroy me. But what if I just don't upgrade the towers? Let's just do it that way. What if I just don't upgrade them? Then I build more first of all. No, I gotta fix that somehow. My fleeing is just not working correctly. Mine, I need to build another tower. How can I encode this logic? I'm running out of logic headspace. My headspace for logic is slow in Sim. Like I said, I know what I want to do. I want to run this way and build more towers as they're chasing me. Yeah, is that a lot, Jasper, or not? It's very structured. Lots of commented bits. I'm going to remove the bits that we don't want. 356 now. That doesn't include the actual state and the entry thing, though. Right, so if fleet. The reason is when we build if fleet, the issue is that we assumed we had a lot of towers on the board. If we don't have that, we should just go to the closest one and build a tower. So we have somebody close by, the close unit, and they're getting close. Let's do this. If tower count is less than 4, it's not close by, we're going to build it. And how do I find the closest ones? Find closest. non-site us. State that our queen now position. So Jasper, I still don't know if you think that's too long or too short. And we're going to make it a very small range of 400. Turn some format. Build. It's okay. So if I'm fleeing, I can build a tower quickly first. Let's see if that does anything. And oh, why do I need to always have this? $80 lines is short, although we did have a lot less. I say, and this is the problem I had. We actually had a lot less too when we started. Rust is also a little bit verbose, but 80 is really short. Now this tends to grow over time because I just stack more and more stuff. I never go through and I refactor any of this stuff. I just keep stacking more on here, and that makes it harder and harder to adjust stuff because you add more and more stuff on there and you just don't know what's actually making a difference. So he's hiding. That's a dumbass thing to do now. Build more towers if you don't have any, stupid person. Again, keep in mind, like, I'm making this stuff excessively clean for the show because I'm trying to refactor and I'm trying to keep in mind that we are trying to build nice, proper code. And so my stuff is probably far more verbose than you actually need. Rust is also verbose in other cases. And again, there's many ways you can do it. I mean, because I also have the state code, and we reuse bits of code. We have the entry code. The entry code is just parsing too. And keep in mind, I parse everything out correctly. I parse it into a logical state. I don't just use stuff. Like, I don't like use 0 or 1. I parse it to us and them and stuff. Just as is. Yeah, I mean, Jasper, stacking if-else is, it works. It's a bit harder to adjust, but it can work, and in the end, it's not doing much better than what we're doing. Alright, so we're back at 164, slowly getting up there, but we're probably done calculating. We're still calculating. Well, I did a slight improvement. I'm going to resubmit that. Now I'm losing my voice, so shortly I'm going to have to stop. What do we do? And I noticed the aggressive strategies, even since we started this show, there's been more aggressive strategies coming in. And I have no idea why I built a mine in the middle of nowhere there. That was like an error. I actually have code that shouldn't do that. And Well, we're not doing well. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah, I'm just getting worse. Nothing's going on here. I might just revert to what I had, submit it, and hope for the best. Let's let this one go a bit more. Let's check my code. So git diff. There's no actual changes there. This was the correct change, we think. Running away, or maybe not. We added that. If upgrade, we run away. Like, we've not made significant changes here. We only build mines. This code here should have prevented us from building a mine where it did in that one scenario. Go away. Let's go back to that. That's the exact same. This is an accidental thing, but it might make the difference. Tower count less than 3. Let's put this back to 3. And get rid of this special casing here, not building extra towers. That doesn't appear to be helping us. And if upgrade, I'm going to leave this in because this feels like this is probably a positive thing. I don't build upgrades if I'm now in danger. And the mines, it also feels reasonable. But it was 300. Build mine. Yeah, this changes them to mines. That should be fine. It's this mine here. Let's make it a little bit more generous. Let's just go away. I'm going to blindly submit this. And I think this is the last one I'm going to submit. This is pretty much the code we submitted when we got to 10, with the minor tweaks that I think are safe as opposed to the exaggerated tweaks. We'll be happy that we got to 10 once, and I don't know, we'll just be happy with that. So we got this first jump. The initial jump was fine. That really helps us out a bit. I don't know. I think I'm done for the day. I'll see where I get tomorrow. I'm not exactly motivated to continue this tomorrow because it's really... The strategy's already gotten too verbose, right? It's getting hard to work with. It's hard to change things. And by that, what I mean is that the things are so interconnected. It's like very, very difficult. It's at the point where you really want to say like, hey, you know, why can't we have machine learning do the rest of this tweaking? But it's not necessarily tweaking. And I got stuck in the same position I was on with botters, is that there's just so many things, small things to adjust, and I don't know if they make a difference. And it takes, the turnaround is so long. That I'll have to see tomorrow what my mood is. If I do come back tomorrow, it'll be in the evening again. We'll see what happens there. If I have nice weather out here, though, I'm gonna of course go for the barbecue during the day and enjoy that at least, and not worry about the competition. While we're letting this go, but Winnie Prakash, this is my rank 10 code, and this is what we've been fighting with the last hour and a half. Is that my rank 10 code is basically just not doing as well as it did when it got rank 10. There's a lot of randomness in the ladder, as I kept going back to the rank 10, and right now I only have 2 minor variations in the code of the rank 10, and we're going to see what happens with that. And yeah, and so I added just the one if, well, 2 ifs now, 1 variation, and I simplified it, and we'll see what happens with that. Just as an advertisement for my other stuff, this is what I also worked on in the Leaf Show today. This is using my language. We added little sprites to this today. Different type of coding. There's no competitors to deal with here. There's no boards to deal with. It's a lot more peaceful. If you're into this type of coding, then you can tune to this show too. I usually do it in the days, Saturday and Sunday. I should be on tomorrow with this as well. Now, this game isn't that impressive. What's the impressive aspect of this game, if you want to be impressed, you don't have to be, is that this is done in my own programming language, Leaf. And Jasper, no, Leaf does not transpile. Leaf compiles down to a low-level code. It does use LLVM for the back end, but Leaf is its own, completely own system, own language. And so absolutely everything in this project here is completely written by me. So the compiler, and I'm using SDL and GL, but I'm doing all the integration to it. I don't have any high-level library to work with, and so this is what this part of this project is to write everything from scratch, the challenge of a language, and it's completely different. It is a modern language. It has all the things like closures, tuples, and stuff like this, and error handling. And this show with Wormies is really just a practical show to see, can we get this using something useful? How is this actually going to work? What am I missing? And it's very clear what I'm missing. What defects do I have? And I'll probably do this again. If I don't go grilling tomorrow, I'll be working on this again tomorrow afternoon, and then maybe Rust again in the evening. And we're going to keep adding this. Today we added these sprites to it. I showed how to use a sprite map, so I'm actually teaching graphics programming as well at the same time. We used a sprite map today, and we added the background, and tomorrow we're going to add obstacles in the middle of it, like little bushes and stuff. And congratulations, Weedy, for making the top 100. We're just going to check back. I'm going to probably just let myself die here, and then check back at it. So I'll just let myself die. And we have lots of little things to fix. So this is my language. My libraries, it does not transpile. This is actually processed and compiled down to, in this case it's run in a JIT, but it can also be run as an EXE. This is using SDL and GL. And if you're interested in anything about game development, learning basics from scratch or compilers, then please tune into that. I should be back tomorrow, otherwise it's next Saturday. And so I'm stuck at 183. Again, this is essentially my top 10 code, which I, for some reason, don't get as high with anymore. But I'm going to leave it at that, and if I come back tomorrow, we see it is. We were at top 10. I can live with that either way. We never made gold, and if I come back tomorrow, the only goal is to make gold. If I'm bored in the morning, I'll check it. And thanks for watching. It's always fun when I have people watching, and don't forget to follow me to see exactly precisely when I'm on. I'm not entirely consistent, and I wish you the best with the contest, and hopefully one of us can make gold. So Witty, if you make gold, let us know, let me know, and at least one of us will have made gold, and we'll see where I sit tomorrow. Thank you very much.